introduced in 2021. Our support has grown, and we now have 49 co-sponsors. Not only that, but the core of this bill has been supported by a majority of the American people, a majority of the South Korean people, and a majority of the parliament of South Korea. It is time to end America's most forever war. I know that we have passionate support across this country. So many of you have come here from every part of our country. It has been since 76 years since the armistice was signed, and since then things in the last couple of decades have not gone well. We see a growing nuclear program and ballistic missile program in North Korea, and we see harsh sanctions, which are having a tremendous effect on the North Korean economy and the people of North Korea. It's time to make peace. Now, it will be argued that we should not deal with this North Korean regime. You should not make peace with them because this evil and that evil. You don't make peace with your friends. You make peace with your enemies. Your enemies are not nice people. That's why you have professional diplomats to negotiate with folks that you have tremendous disagreements with. And so the purpose of this bill to end the war of 1953 is not just symbolic. It's not just tidying up the official legal status of the Korean Peninsula, but it is a first step toward what I hope to see is a negotiated control and limitation on the North Korean nuclear and missile programs on the one hand, and an end to our sanctions on the other hand. We have got to adopt a new negotiating stance that recognizes that just chanting civid, the complete, irreversible destruction of the nuclear program of North Korea, has not worked, and that we may need a different negotiating position, one that recognizes that the world will be much safer if the North Korean nuclear and missile programs are limited. And the process now of not negotiating except to demand everything has not been successful. This bill also deals with the issue of divided Korean families, Korean American families. Over 100,000 of them have relatives in the North, and is designed to facilitate what I hope the North Korean government will allow, and that is family unification visits, not only for the people of South Korea, but for Korean Americans as well. And it is time for our State Department to make it clear that passports will be allowed for if the North Korean government allows these family reunification visits. Um, this bill builds on the progress of Panmunjom in 2018, where we saw President Trump try to reach in this direction. So I look forward to spending this entire day with KPAC, working for the passage of this bill, but more importantly, working for an end to the War of 1953 and the beginning of realistic peace negotiations. With that, I have a chance to turn it over to my friend, Congresswoman Judy Chu.
Judy.
Well, hello. I'm Congressmember Judy Chu, representative of California's 28th Congressional District, and Chair Emerita of KPAC with a C. Yeah. It's our Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, and it sounds exactly like KPAC with a K. So that's why I say we are sisters and brothers, right? Well, I want to thank your president, Casey Choi, for his incredible work to make this possible. Every year that you come to fight for this bill, your numbers grow stronger and stronger, and it is very inspirational to see. Your presence here sends a powerful message. After more than 70 years, the Korean people deserve a permanent peace. Several years ago, I had the opportunity to visit the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. Standing there, looking across one of the most heavily fortified borders in the world, I was struck by just how close the two sites are geographically and yet how separated they remain. It was a powerful reminder that today there are still millions of people whose lives continue to be shaped by a war that never officially ended. That experience stayed with me. And so have the stories I have heard from Korean Americans from my district and from across the nation. One story I will never forget was shared during our Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus Forum we held on North Korea and the Korean American community. An 86-year-old Korean American woman named Soon Bak Kim shared that she fled her home as a young girl during the Korean War, believing she would return home within minutes. Instead, decades passed without seeing her family again. Through tears, she told us that her greatest wish was simply to reunite with her loved ones before it was too late. Sadly, hers is not an isolated story. There are countless families who continue to carry that same hope. And it is for them that I'm a proud original co sponsor of the Divided Families Reunification Act, a bill to require the State Department to work with the South Korean government and Korean families to reunite loved ones. And thanks to your incredible support, this bill did pass the House during the 117th Congress and was signed into law by President Biden in 2022. But we certainly cannot stop there. And that's why I am so proud to be an original co sponsor of the Peace on the Korean Peninsula Act, led by the incredible colleague from Southern California, Representative Brad Sherman. This legislation will bring us closer to a lasting peace by calling for a formal end to the Korean War and promoting diplomacy by establishing liaison offices on U.S. North Korean relations. It would also direct the State Department to issue a report to Congress to lay out a diplomatic roadmap for achieving peace. As the U.S. continues to strengthen its alliance with the Republic of Korea, we must also continue pursuing every responsible opportunity to reduce tensions, promote dialogue, and build a more peaceful future. Our alliance is strongest when it is grounded not only in our shared security and economic interests, but also in our shared commitment to peace. So, thank you for being here today. Thank you for all your advocacy.
Thank you. Is Dina here? Now I want to introduce from Southern California as well, my friend from Orange County, Dave Min. Dave.
안녕하세요. 저는 데이브맨 영반 하원 의원입니다. And I have the immense privilege of having been elected in 2024 to serve Orange County, including my city of Irvine, as the first Korean American to ever represent Orange County, Irvine, and one of 3 Korean Americans in the House of Representatives. And I want to just first address last night, very disappointing showing by our Korean soccer team. Dehan Mingu. But it was that we are on to discuss much more important topics today. And I want to thank Casey Choi for your leadership in bringing us together. I want to thank you all for coming out here for this very, very important topic. And to my friend Brad Sherman for being a constant leader on this issue. My parents were born in 1947. They grew up during the Korean War and the aftermath of that war. My dad was the youngest of 9 children. His oldest brother went to North Korea in 1953. So they have not seen my 8. My dad and his 7 sisters and brothers have not seen their oldest brother or his family in over 70 years. They believe he's now deceased. They made some efforts in the 1990s and 2000s to try to reach out. But this is a story that we know is the story of Korea. It's a country that went through a lot in the 20th century. Once they emerged from the occupation from the Japanese, they shortly after had that war, a war of brothers and sisters where families were divided. And that war effectively ended over 70 years ago. It is long past time that we formally end the war, that we try to achieve peace through strength. And Brad Sherman's bill would be an important step in trying to do that. By formally ending war and the declaration of war that is now in place, potentially moving towards negotiations. And we know that North Korea is a challenging country. We know Kim Jong-un is not someone that we necessarily want to trust. But South Korea is a strong nation. America is a strong nation. I believe we can start extending olive branches and try to move towards peace. But that has to start by ending the war. So I want to thank Casey Choi and Brad Sherman again. We need to start reuniting families. Peace is what we want in our lifetimes. Thanks so much.
Just want to comment that Americans don't realize how close Seoul is to the DMZ. When I visited the DMZ, in that area, I learned that property values on the north side of Seoul are quite a bit different from the south side. Imagine a major now world capital that close to the possibility of war, that it affects how people live their lives every day. I don't know if we have any other members. So for the United States Congress. So I'll now move on to Song Young Gil of the National Assembly of the Republic of Korea, the Democratic Party. Song?
어제 축구 지는 걸 보면서 정말 전반전부터 우리가 밀리고 있었잖아요. 뭔가 변화가 필요하고 행동이 필요한데 홍명보 감독이 우물쭈물하다가 아무런 효과적인 반격이 없이 결국 1대0으로 져버렸습니다. 그래서 아까 누가 그랬죠. What do you want? One more time. What do you want? When do you want? Right now 바꿔야 돼요. 그렇지 않으면 이게 우리가 골 1대0으로 진다고 했어요. As you know, Korean Peninsula is the military tension getting more and more seriously deteriorate every year. The North Korea accumulate more increasing nuclear warhead stockpile, and also they are developing using the solid fuel to launching rockets, ICBM. Also, they are according to expert analysis, already 50 nuclear warhead is they deploy, and about within 2 years, 100 warhead is more increase, and also they are developing SLBM, and what transit eject launching TEL is very moving. The launching style is very impossible to military surgical strikers. Some expert and conservative group, they are imagine they can get rid of all North Korea warhead, the right military attack is very catastrophic. It's impossible. We don't want such kind of the military imagination. Only we need to diplomatic method. I'm I would like to first of all, I would like to express gratitude to Brad Sherman. As you know, 2 years ago, insurrection occurred in Seoul. At the time, timely, Brad Sherman interviewed with Korean news media, and they expressed the firm stand to support Korean constitution and the democratic system. It's very helpful to remove the Yoon Suk-yeol military dictatorship. I want to give a congratulations. And so I'm very interested, Brad Sherman and Judy Chu and David Mean, like to all unanimously together about 50 members of House. They are ceaselessly to submit this bill, 1841, and Korean peace bill. We are very impressed. So already armistice. Today is the 76th anniversary of the Korean War. My father-in-law was born 평안남도 영변, 약산 진달래꽃. My father-in-law promised me to when we are freely to go in that we are sick. 이 손잡고 거기 한번 영변 약산 진달래꽃을 보고 싶다고 제 장인어른이 이야기했는데 unfortunately my father-in-law passed away, so I'm very regrettable. So as a politician, I strongly feel the mission. We can first step. I want to leave the ban. The Korean American can visit their hometown and can meet the separate families. I want to the House of United States to pass this bill to lift the ban visiting North Korean hometown and can meet the separate family reunion. So we are our colleague 김영배, 강경숙, 김영만, we are bipartisanly, unanimously we support this bill. When I come back, Korean National Assembly, we can to inform all this kind of 1841 bill. We want to across the country. We are all together. This bill passed. We all prayer and support. Thank you. 고맙습니다. 감사합니다.
I've been involved in these issues in all of my 30 years on the Foreign Affairs Committee and my many years chairing the Asia Subcommittee. And we get an argument on the other side that says, oh, you're making a concession to North Korea. A peace treaty to finalize the peace that was created in 1953 is not a concession any more than it was a concession for President Eisenhower to have ended the war in 1953. It is a fair, reasonable situation that reflects realities on the ground today. And so now I'd like to introduce from the National Assembly of the Republic of Korea, from the People Power Party, Cho Kyung-tae.
He just stepped out.
Oh, he stepped out.
He had to leave.
I understand.
Airport.
Oh,
Leaving early.
well then, I get to introduce my friend, the man who brought this bill's ideas to my attention several years ago, the man behind the Korean American Public Action Committee, Casey Choi.
Thank you. Casey. Thank you, my uncle, Brad Sherman. I have just short word. As a second generation of divided family, I made huge promise to my late dad. He was born in North Korea, Haeju, Hwanghae-do, North Korea, but he didn't have any chance to hear or meet or talk with his families and siblings and nobody. He just passed away 5 years ago. At the time I was in Korea, I even couldn't attend his funeral on time. I text my uncle Brad Sherman, hey, I'm gonna break your law. Executive from President Trump. I'm gonna break. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna bring my ashes or relics of my father to the North Korea. This is not right. Still, it's lasting until today. It's very unfortunate. President Trump signed on the bill, Divided Family Reunion Act, but still he imposed executive order, not being able to, for U.S. citizen, even for U.S. citizen cannot go to North Korea, even for any reason. It shouldn't be like this. But I have hope. Thanks to my uncle, we have 50, and I really want President Trump to hear his voice, meet with my uncle, Brad Sherman, ASAP. That's my desire and my request and my hope. Anytime soon. Our journey is not easy. He knew, and I know, it's not easy. But it's our mandatory, it's our mission, it's our call from my heaven, my Lord. Can you do that together? Yeah. Together, we can make it. Can you go? Together? What do you want? What do you want? When do you want? Now. What do you want? When do you want? Okay, go together.
We are nearly at the conclusion of this press conference, but we are not at the conclusion of our efforts on behalf of this bill and on behalf of peace on the Korean Peninsula. The press should know that the people here and hundreds of people from around this country will be descending upon their members of Congress to say it is time for peace on the Korean Peninsula. It's time to pass the bill. It's time to have reasonable negotiations. And this affects what's happening right now on the ground in Ukraine. We see North Korean forces fighting there. We have a North Korean regime that has very few ways of getting the foreign currency and the hard currency that it needs. And so it is literally sending mercenary soldiers. We should see instead limits on the nuclear program and an end to sanctions and an end to the day where North Korea sees the only way to make money is to send its sons to distant battlefields. So I want to encourage everyone here. This is just the beginning of the day. Visit your members of Congress. Visit your senators. Get them on this bill, and more importantly, get them on board for peace on the Korean Peninsula. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think now, yeah, point as well, and two other things.
Yeah, I got it.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So if somebody want to take photo, 시간아,
얘들하고만 애들 여기 같이 서보자 얘들아. 얘들아 여기 같이 모아보자. 얘들아 같이 모아보자.
아이들 앞으로 하겠어.
시간이 빨리 들어가시고. 얘들아
아이들이 앞으로 오세요, 아이들이. 아이들.
얘들아 앉아. 얘들아 앞으로 가자. You can sit down. First of all, sit down. Very good. Tuna, come in. Tuna, come. Okay.
Alright.
Stand. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 여기 보세요. 자, 안 보이니까. 네. 감사합니다. 네.
Thank you.
땡큐. 고마워요.
자, 조별로 사진 찍으셔도 돼요. 조별로.
우리 여기 잠깐만
이
있다가
사람을 배경으로
네, together. Okay? So stay here. 여기 있어요. We'll be leaving soon. Okay?
You can take a team photo right now.
자,
자, 이 사람을 배경으로
얘네들은 picture of farmers of USA. Yeah, they have the state name on the back and everything. Yeah, picture farmers of USA. Farmers. Yes.
team 9.
picture farmers. Yeah, 우리는 뭐야? picture leaders.
우리 하나 찍어줘.
사장님도 같이 한번 찍었어요, 얘들아.
잠깐만.
자, 준아야, 이쪽으로 더.
내가 애들
준아야, 설미, 컴. 1, 2, 3. 이쪽 들어와야 돼. 들어와, 뒤로. 자, 1, 2, 3.
좀 갖다 줘요. 키가 크고 얘가
오케이. 자, 여기 봐, 여기가 메인이야. 여기는 나는 마이크가 나와가지고 안 되겠어. 자, 뒤에 안 보이니까 수고.
사이사이 자기 얼굴 나올 때는
조금만 can we bend a little in the front? 사이밖에 안 남았어. 성이 빠졌어. 성이 나와. 사이밖에 안 남아.
하나만 더 드릴게요.
앞으로 나가야 될 거예요. 키가 작은데.
감사합니다. 잠깐만요.
네, 제가 아니고.
네, 좋아요. 감사합니다.
한딜팀.
잠깐만 기다려요. 얘기하시면서요. 얘들하고. 프로그램 플레이.
이기장님, 스승님, 오늘 가시는 거죠? 같이 가시는 거죠? 아니, 짐을 가져야 돼.
Jeremy?
Jeremy, come. Jeremy, come. Jeremy, come. 이렇게.
박수장님.
식사님 어쩌다가 여기
오케이, 됐어. 이빨로
맨 처음에 우리
You were standing still for so long.
자, 이빨로 여기 다시 이렇게 보여드릴게요. 잠깐만. 자, 선생님, 우리 계단에서 찍은 사진 있잖아요.
아니 안 편집은 안 돼. 앤디 빅스.
돌아가기 잘해보자.
Bro, this mic setup, bro, like the fake mic and the actual mic. Yo.
오케이, 여기 잠깐만요. 자, 여기는 여기는 다른 데 가고 잠깐만. 지금 팀 나누고 있어가지고 시간이 있으니까요. 중요한 건 10시까지는 호텔로 들어와가지고 대표님, 나머지 애들은 어디 갈까?
여기 12시에 브레셔먼이야.
나머지는 다 12시까지 브레이션을 놓고 하는 거죠? 찾아가야 여기잖아요.
그러면 여기를 여기 많이 안 와봤을 거 아니에요.
네, 안 해봤죠.
근데 여기가 투어하고 라이브러리 하고 오면 너무 좋을 것 같은데 저는 이제 여기 있어야 되니까
12시까지 머리로 오라는 거죠.
네이버 뮤직에
그다음에
거기는 적어도 있어요. 근데